another test stream that I've decided to do of a very different game as compared to yesterday's. Yesterday's was the rather unpleasant spike volleyball, but as a long-suffering volleyball fan, as I mentioned, I really had no choice. I kind of had to watch that one. I'll play that one. I have actually played a bit of that volleyball game over the last over the last day, just because I really am missing that sport. But today I'm going to do a stream of a game that's hopefully a lot more interesting for people who aren't necessarily volleyball fans, who maybe use the YouTube channel to keep up to date with all the Japanese stuff and coverage, and that is, of course, Warriors. Now, Warriors All Stars is possibly one of the less well-known, less well-regarded Warriors games out there. So it's actually one of my favourites. As a fan of pretty much everything that Koei Tecmo does, Warriors All Stars was very much designed for me, and that is why I'm going to play this one, to wag the flag. Excuse me, wag the flag a little bit, wave the flag a little bit. Wow, that's a bad start. Anyway, yes. Yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. There is a lot to like about Warriors All Stars. I go into it from more the character point of view, I guess, and the stages. The stages are pretty functional compared to most other Warriors games because you're meant to be focusing on the characters, and I think it works for that. But we'll show, I guess, how repetitive the stage variety can be over the course of this broadcast, I'm sure. If you haven't played Warriors All Stars, as the name suggests, you actually basically play with all of Koei Tecmo's most popular characters drawn from Dead or Alive, from the Warriors games, from Ninja Gaiden, from Neo, and a couple of the more obscure ones, and some Japan-only titles as well. And yeah, you bash. It's a big bash up between all of the characters, and with a pretty flimsy plot to bring them together. But anyway, I'm going to give people another minute or two to jump in and watch before we get to playing if they want to. Once again, this is just another test run. I want to see how, I guess, the microphone works with a more noisy game. And yeah, once I get the hang of things, what I'm going to do is develop a proper schedule of when I'll be streaming stuff, so people know that they can jump on then and catch up with what I'm playing, and we can have a good chat. So yeah, once again, this is just a test. Yeah, Naotora is an interesting character. I'm a little bit surprised that Koei pushes her so heavily in a lot of the games. She was one of the main characters in the Warriors Orochi 4 as well. Um, she is a fascinating figure in the real history, and once you get aside the kind of the nonsense that they've given her character for the video games. I actually went to her, I guess, her gravesite in Japan, and that was an interesting trip. One of my more out there history tours. It was a 40-minute bus ride from Hamamatsu, I think it was Hamamatsu. 40-minute bus ride, and the buses were about 45 minutes apart, which, if you've been to Japan, you know that just doesn't happen. You're really going to the middle of nowhere if you're on one of those buses. So that was a fascinating thing. It was an amazing temple, though, and really enjoyed that experience. Right, yes. Danganronpa. Yes, absolutely. Kirigiri is one of my favorite characters anyway from that series anyway, so I will definitely check those out. Thank you for the suggestion. Okay, we're just about to jump into it. So, this, I had to format my PlayStation's external hard drive recently, so I basically lost my big save game that I had for Warriors All Stars. This is a fairly new stage of the game. I think I've been playing it when I can here and there. I think this is the first replay after finishing the story once, so I haven't got that many characters at this stage, and yeah, it's quite early on, so you'll get to see stuff before it gets too advanced. Yes, I think that was one of the NHK history series, wasn't it? The Naotora did. I think it was last year, perhaps the year before. So every year NHK does a look at a particular character from a point in history. I think it's pretty much always from the Sengoku history, where they take you through the entire story of that character, and basically that historical figure becomes very popular for the year that NHK does that show. It's a very popular TV show indeed. NHK is basically the public broadcaster in Japan. It's like the ABC here in Australia or the BBC in the UK, and this one history drama thing they do is particularly popular, and Koei Tecmo has actually latched onto that in the past as well. They released a game a couple of years ago now called Spirit of Sonata, which it's a Warriors game, but it takes you through one particular story, and that is of the Sonata clan. That game was released at the same time that NHK was doing a Sonata story for its historical series. So Koei Tecmo does latch onto what's popular in Japan with the characters, and I guess if you ever see a Samurai Warriors character being put right to the front of the pack with any of these games, that's probably why they've latched onto the NHK show. But okay, let's get into this. So I am playing currently as Sophie, because Sophie is from Atelier and Sophie is great, and I haven't unlocked Marie Rose yet in this playthrough. Once I unlock Marie Rose, I basically just play as her the whole time. So we'll jump into one of the main missions. And so Tamaki is a new character just designed for this game. I don't think she appears in anything else either. And like I said, the plot that kind of pulls all of these characters together into this free-for-all is pretty flimsy and not very good. But so yeah, Tamaki's not a particularly good character herself, but you can pass through these fairly quickly. Luckily, Koei knew that the story wasn't going to be why people played this game, so they kept the narrative stuff to a limit. And there we go. Yes, Dead or Alive's Tamaki would be a much better character for this game. She should definitely be in this. There should be another Warriors All-Stars, I think. I really do think that, as much as this game was panned, there's a lot of potential in it to be basically Koei Tecmo's Smash Brothers in a way, and they certainly got the character roster to do so. They needed to refine this one a bit, but I think there's definitely potential there for a PlayStation 5 game or something down the track. And in we go. Oops, pressed the wrong button there. So I've just activated Sophie's super attack, which was way too early to do so, but anyway. When you do that, you can really get a big combo going and the screen explodes with energy. I really didn't mean to do that, anyway. I'll take it, I guess. So while you play as a single character, and you pick that character before each stage, you take 4 allies into battle with you as well. They can help you out with special attacks and things like that. Why am I going this way? I meant to go this way. And the combat system is nice and fluid, really. There's an awful lot of fireworks that go on, and you do end up feeling pretty powerful, as the Warriors games always want you to. And there's certainly plenty of enemies to kill as well while you're at it. I'm really rusty at this. Here we go. Let's capture this. Like with many Warriors games, the moment-to-moment battlefield action basically requires that you go around capturing these bases, because by doing so you get more powerful, or you get more units, and it kind of helps to keep the combat on your side. In the meantime, you want to defend your own territories from enemy attacks and seek out the boss characters to fight. And eventually you'll be set with the end boss of the level, and you'll beat that boss and unlock something. Yeah, Sophie... Oops. Failed the mission. Sophie's not my favourite of the Atelier games, but she is the one that, at the point in time when they were developing Warriors All-Stars, was the most current Atelier title, so that's why they're focused on Sophie. I certainly think there are other characters that would be better suited. Probably Rorona would be the obvious choice for me, because I think Rorona was about the point where the Warriors series really, the Atelier series really started to take off in the globe and find a real audience. And she's just a really good character from the Arland series, and I think lots of people count that one as their favourite, including me. And they even went back and did a 4th Arland Atelier, which was surprising. Came out of nowhere last year. It was a good one. Lelua. I did enjoy Lelua. I've completely lost track of what I'm meant to be doing this. Have not been paying attention to the map or my mission objective. Anyway, I'm back on track now. What to do with this gatekeeper? I can come sneaking in here. Here we go. Now I'm making progress. You didn't get a chance to see much of that character because I beat him pretty quickly, but there's a cat that's a playable character and also an enemy often, called Nobunaga Oda. Nobunaga Oda is a cat version of Nobunaga Oda, the infamous warlord from the Sengoku period, and Nobunaga shows up in quite a few games that mostly for mobile in Japan, which are actually quite popular, but for whatever reason Koei does not localize them into the West. There's a strategy game, there's also a kind of dungeon crawling thing which was a lot of fun, and I keep telling Koei every time I get a chance to speak to them they should give the Nobunaga games a go in the West, but nobody listens to me. Oops. Getting hit a bit here. Oh, for goodness sakes. Come on. And with that, I just won the mission. Go me.
それがわからないはずはないのに。ここは引いてやる。だが二度と甘い考えで俺に近づくな。次はどんな手を使ってもお前を倒す。そこまで私が憎いのですか。
I don't know if Nobunaga's not a waifu. I think he's pretty hot. He's got the smouldering rage going for him, that's for sure.
玉木殿、そんな申し訳ありません。そうね。
There we go. All S rank, which is good for me. And then you get all these stuff, like most Warriors games these days, there's a lot of collecting involved and a lot of upgrading and all kinds of little systems that run at the background that's designed to make you feel like that there's more to the game than the raw action. Got to get rid of some of these old cards. Get rid of that one. And then as you fight with all these various characters, their relationships improve with you and they fight better. Again, this game is just full of systems that are there to convince you that there's more tactical stuff and management stuff than the raw action. But, you know, as long as you don't play on a too high difficulty level, you don't have to worry about most of this stuff too much. If you just want to bash buttons, you can do that too, which is nothing. There is nothing wrong with that. It's very therapeutic at times.
そうね。はあ、そうだよね。うん。そうね。
玉木殿。
And this is the kind of the hub map that you can return, or you do return to between battles. You can see there's an awful lot of icons there. Most of those icons you don't have to engage with them much. They're just ways to level up your characters if you feel like you're under-leveled, and get some additional loot and treasure and things if you need it. The main ones that you need to pay attention to are those ones which progress the story. The kind of the crystal thing there. You also need to... I just got a thing. You also need to pay attention to these ones, which is where you get to unlock new characters, which is good. Let's do that. Let's unlock a new character. No, I don't want the enemy stronghold. I want this one. Let's unlock a new character. All that means is that I've tried to take a character in the battle that I couldn't for story reasons, so I'll just pick another one from my list. Let's go with Horo. Yes. Confirm. Okay. So, as this little narrative bit introduces, this is a character that you're going to get to unlock who has a relationship to one of the Dynasty Warriors characters, which is good because it means a Dynasty Warrior character. I think. I think. And here we go. So I knocked the health of the base area down enough. Then I got the leader to appear, and of course now I get to capture, or I did capture that territory. And now we go to here to do the same thing, capture some more territory. If you've played enough Warriors games, you'll actually recognise a lot of these stages because they're basically repurposed from other Warriors games as well. There was an awful lot of repurposing that went on in Warriors All-Stars. I personally don't have a problem with that because, again, like I said at the start of the video, I see this one more as a game that's there for the characters and just enjoying mashing around with different combinations of characters. But yeah, once again, you can see why people were a little bit disappointed with this game, especially the more hardcore Warriors fans. Cool. I should probably try and catch up with the icon that's running away right now, so let's skip capturing that base for now. And let's... oops, why am I locked out of there? Cat soldiers. Nobunaga is at foot. There he is. The adorable Nobunaga. There was a, for people who don't know, there was Koei Tecmo has a serious strategy game series based on the Samurai Warriors or the Sengoku era called Nobunaga's Ambition. The most recent Nobunaga's Ambition, which is called Nobunaga's Ambition Taishi, actually has the option to replace all the general portraits in the game with cats from the battle cats that I mentioned before, and it's pretty awesome, capturing a very realistically rendered serious strategy game version of Japan when your leader is a evil looking cat. So I really need to stop letting myself get distracted. I need to catch that icon and fast. I don't know if I'm going to even get there now. No, the best girl in this game is Mari Rose. I have no... There is no debating that. This is fact, I'm sorry to say. Ah, there's Mari Rose. Unfortunately an enemy, so I'm going to have to defeat her. Them's fighting words, them's is. I must admit I have absolutely no idea why this is actually one of the characters in the Warriors All-Stars cast. I can't imagine he is by any means the most popular most popular of the Dynasty Warriors mob. Oops. Did I just let him escape? In which case I'll just gone. Nope. Okay, good. There we go. Anyway, let's defeat him nice and quick with this. You shouldn't ever apply logic to a Warriors game. You should know that. There is no such thing as logic in Koei's world. I think he might have been a new character at this time to the a new character to Dynasty Warriors. It might have popped up in what 8, or it might have been an entrant or an announced character for 9, and they wanted to get his name out there. There is a little bit of that with some of the selection of the characters, but yeah, he wouldn't be the one I would pick. Let's put it that way. As a Dynasty Warriors shoe-in for Warriors All-Stars. I mean, Lady Sun's not even in this roster, so, and we all know that Lady Sun is the best of the Dynasty Warriors group by a long way. In fact, Warriors All-Stars would have been better all round if it was all women. All the women characters, and then William Adams, because he's the really cool dude. But yeah. Maybe they can do that next. Anyway, now that I've unlocked him, I won't ever use him again. Get rid of that card. Getting rid of random cards there. Yeah, Darius is really cool. He's one of the characters that hasn't been put into a game that's, well, other than this game, has his main game series hasn't been released into English yet, and I do think that he's pretty cool. I'd like to play one of his games. I haven't had the chance yet. Let's do this one. Yeah, I can't believe they didn't do a Blue Reflection costume set. That was a misfire, a mistake. That was for sure. I'm pretty sure that this Warriors All-Stars was also announced after Blue Reflection as well. They probably should have had a Blue Reflection character in here. Hinako would have been perfect for this roster, but they put that one out to die, they did, unfortunately. Okay, so let's actually do things right this time and follow the mission markers. First up. Okay, making good progress.
そううまくいくと思うなよ。すっかりたくましくなりましたね、ソフィー。日々錬金術の腕前が上がっているようです。いい感じ。あそこを落とせばいいのね。やりましたか？敵の英雄は玉木を狙って近づいてきます。玉木を守りながら3人の相手を中心に時間をかけすぎているらしい。やはり私でもって教えてください。お兄様は何を考えているのですか？
知る必要がない。式も決して教えはしないだろう。
いい感じ。これあそこは私が攻めます。あの英雄たちに挑む前に戦意を上げたい。味方を鼓舞するために手に立ち回ってみるか。セマ、きっとこれがあなた方のためなんです。この試練に失敗すれば玉木が悲しむ。もう少し戦意を上げ備えておくべきか。必要はない。私も式の真意は気になっているしな。それに君は私の妹に似ているんだ。だからなんとなく放っておけなくてな。いい感じ。
ブバタルキご苦労。
Finish off by defeating Ayami, and then easy as that.
なら力ずくで諦めさせてあげる。
約束通り式のもとへ案内しよう。うまくいったようですね。
Oops. Let's go this way. So as you would have seen if you've been watching all of these combat missions so far, the missions, the level design is pretty dull. But once you get into the action, it's all good. Right now I'm chasing down some dude to kill. Oh, getting a bit shot. Let's kill this guy. It's Yukimura. Yep.
華麗な戦いぶりだね。あとは任せてもいいかい？シキ、開けろ。妹がどうしてもお前に会いたいそうだ。はやぶさ殿がそう判断したなら分かった。
Try to hit my own guys there. Where is the boss? There he is. And that's right. Let's do this. This will repeat all over. As much fun as this, like ultra super special, whatever they call it, is, it really does. Basically completely unbalance the game, because you just save it for when you get up to the boss and you're pretty much guaranteed an easy win with that then, because they can't fight back while you're in that mode and you get a full 30 seconds to just go around bashing stuff. So yeah, it's nice idea, but the execution left something to be desired there in terms of making this game have some kind of challenge for players that want to take it that way. Anyway, I won that one. We'll try a different character for the next fight, just to show you that there's some variety. One good thing about this game is that each of the characters do feel different to fight as, which is not always the case with Warriors games. Sometimes there's a little bit of similarity from one to the next, but this one, they all have their own distinct fighting style and personality, which is good, as you would expect, because once again, this game is all about the character. Let's get rid of that one. I don't know. Just get rid of them all. Oh, get a cutscene now. Oh, be lucky.
あなたは本当に王になりたいの？家族と戦ってまで。あ、スキ兄様、刹那兄様。
何もないところで転ぶとはな。玉木はいつまでたっても子供だな。ま、お前はそれでいいさ。俺たちがずっと守ってやるから。
大切な人を守るためにその人を傷つけてしまうこともある。私は玉木ちゃん、これみんなが玉木ちゃんにって。みんな泉が少し元気になったでしょ。だからこの辺で一斉に作物が実ったんだって。玉木ちゃんにお礼がしたくてみんなが持ってきてくれたんだよ。
Do we really want Sayano Uta on our consoles? That's the big question. I mean, I do, but...
美味しくなかった？いいえ、今までで一番美味しいです。ご心配をおかけしました。一つ皆さんにお願いがあります。この世界を救うために私と共に最後まで戦ってください。ああ、もちろんだ。うん、はい。
And so, after that content, it's time to get back into the fighting.
承知いたしました。
But basically what that cutscene was, I just moved through a major part of the game. Like I said, if you do the kind of the crystally looking icons, they do push the story forward a bit. And that one right there is an opportunity to get a new character. So let's do that one. Let's grab a new character, and that gives me a chance to change which character I'll use. Who will I use? I will go with... well, let's play as Oka.
山賊を追い払います。皆様、どうかお力を貸してください。なんだお前ら、ボコボコにしてやるぜ。次は負けぬ。何事だ。大変だ。変なこやつが。たく、俺を誰だと思ってる。勇者時継様だぜ。
That character's from Shukiden, for people who aren't aware. Shukiden being Koei's,
さあ、この時継が相手になるぜ。山賊さんよ。
Shukiden being Koei's Monster Hunter clone, but as is often the case with Koei, when they clone something that's popular, they end up doing a better job of it. I actually prefer Nioh to the Dark Souls games, and I do prefer Toukiden to Monster Hunter. Toukiden has an actual story for one thing, and I do like my games to have some kind of context to them, which Monster Hunter never does, so I've never got along with that series quite as well as I probably should have. But yes, Toukiden's quite good if you haven't played it before. It's pretty niche, but give it a go. It's a lot of fun.
時継様はお優しいのですね。ゆかりもない民のために戦ってくださるなんて。困ってる奴らを放っておく。魂を込める。花と知れ。置けないしな。ところでここはどこなんだ。俺は自分の里にいたはずなんだが。申し訳ありません。私がお呼びしたのです。
That's that one down.
英雄か。どうせなら勇者って呼んでる。楽しい話はここが片付いたら聞かせてくれ。
I'll tell you what, the one Warriors game I wish I could stream, but I can't because I haven't got the right equipment for streaming the Switch just as yet. I'd love to do Fire Emblem Warriors. I like that game a great deal. As much as I know most people would prefer Hyrule Warriors to Fire Emblem Warriors, for much the same reason I like Warriors All-Stars. I like my character-driven games, and certainly Fire Emblem Warriors is character-driven.
私は民を安全なところへ避難させます。このままほっとくわけにもいかねえか。たとえ悪人だろうとな。
And a third party has joined the battlefield, which is always good fun. Yellow enemies. Demon things. Demon things.
最優先指令です。
やってやる。
So that was me defeating a yokai. I don't know why they spell them. Do not know why they spell them Y-O-K-I in Yoki in this game, but they are demons. They are yokai from Japanese mythology. What have we got here? Oops. There we go. And that's another one down. One to go. Defeat this yokai. Yeah, but this is Y-O-K-I, so it's not you. It's I don't know. I've never seen it translated that way in English, and I. Usually, when it's in English, it's translated into Y-O-K-A-I, which is closer to how it sounds anyway. So I don't know why they didn't do it this way. I mean, Koei Tecmo's actually spelled it yokai as in the Y-O-K-A-I in the Neo series as well, so I don't know. It's a weird one. And then to split hairs, I guess they can look more like Oni designs to me than anything else. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Another conversation for another day. Oops. There we go. Did what I was meant to do there. There's still one to go. The boss one, which is here. Let's deal with him the easy way. Right. Yeah, and I guess that's the thing. I mean, I have seen it spelt in other ways, but Y-O-K-I is just a really odd spelling for it, at least as far as I understand Japanese translation to work. I've never seen it done that way, and I just a random observation, I guess. But I mean, we all know what they are anyway, so I guess it's kind of a moot point.
元は普通の人間だったんだが、訳あってからくりの体に魂を封じられてな。けど鬼を打つ者の負の力はそのままだ。頼りにしてくれていいぞ。
That can work. For this. And mission complete. Good on me.
Tamaki.
10 minutes, that was a longer mission. But still an S rank. Okay. Yes, I agree. And that's another new companion.
そうだな。よ。そっか。だよ。時継だな。シュウソウ。お。お。よし。
And I think on that note, I've tested this enough to see if this works as a stream as well. I'll get to listen back to it, I guess, once I'm done, once it's uploaded, once it's archived onto my YouTube channel. Yeah, if it works, then I guess we can go full steam ahead with proper streaming as of, I guess, the end of this week and into next week. I certainly am certainly keen. I hope it works, because this is quite a lot of fun, and it'll be good to chat with a bunch of people once people know that I'm doing these at certain hours and they can log in and jump in and say hi. We're going to have a good time. So I think we'll finish up on this this stream now. Once I actually start doing the streams proper, I'll pick out games that I guess are more balanced. So certainly, I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, that one of the ones I'll do first is Blue Reflection, and I'll do, you know, a couple of hours here and there over a course of a couple of weeks to show you all of that game. That's a very special one, and I do like to talk about that one anyway, so hopefully that would be a good first choice for my streaming. Otherwise, thanks again for jumping in and listening, and we will see how we go.